You asked me about the 4 E's, these 4 E's that shape all the expeditions that we do as part of Women Emerging. We discovered them on the first expedition, and now we use them on all future expeditions because they help to frame the expeditions, and they help women to digest what they've learnt as they go. The 4 E's are essence, elements, expression, and energy. We draw them up, the first 3 E's, as 3 sort of concentric circles. And then the 4th E we represent as an infinity symbol that lies across the first 3 E's. And when you're really successful, that infinity symbol begins to compound and to spiral upwards, still rooted in essence. But let me explain in a bit more detail. Let's start with essence. Essence is what makes us who we are. It's us in our raw state, and it inevitably frames how we lead, sometimes helpfully, sometimes not so helpfully. It's the central circle in the 3 concentric circles. Inside that circle, the women on the first expedition found that they had in common 7 pieces of essence, all to a greater or lesser extent, but common to all of them. They were motherness, what they held sacred, their connection to nature, their connection to their body, their connection to their ancestors, their experience of trauma, or their experience of education. Elements is the second of the circles, of the 3 concentric circles, the second circle out from essence. Elements is how your essence shows up in how you're leading. Let me give an example. If a big piece of your essence is motherness, it's likely to show up in 2 elements, an element of nurturing and an element of fierceness. Every piece of essence will have different elements that show up from it, and some will add light and some will add shadows inevitably, particularly when they manifest themselves in their extremes. Expression is the 3rd of the 3 circles, the furthest out of the 3 circles, of the 3 concentric circles, after essence and elements. You then look at how both of those play out in how you lead on a day-to-day basis, whether that's meetings that you chair, tasks that you prioritize, targets that you set, teams that you build, decisions that you make or unmake, negotiations you drive, partnerships you build. Too often, a lot of these things are defined or shaped by systems and processes, and they become almost divorced from your essence. And yet they need to be essential expressions of your own essence, because often it's in the practical routines, the day-to-day things that you do, day on day on day, that you create the culture that must surely emanate from your essence. So now we have the 3 circles: essence, elements, expression. Across them, we lay an infinity symbol. We chose an infinity symbol to lie across these 3 because it had to be dynamic, it had to be big, but also it had to go in both directions, because your inner essence will inevitably frame your expression, and how you express your leading in the real world, with contact with your own teams and the people that you're leading, will inevitably also weave back in and reframe to some extent your inner essence. So we chose the infinity symbol to represent, to reflect that flow, but also because it's dynamic. And one of the great things that we felt we discovered on the first expedition is that leading in the end is about generating energy. Generating or releasing energy. Energy in yourself as you lead, energy in the people that you're leading, whom you're leading, that are around you, and also in the very atmosphere around you.